I know what you're all thinking. How can Shrek 5 possibly be one of the best Shrek movies ever? I mean, it's been over
15 years.
The internet hated the first teaser. I get it. People complained about the animation. People complained about the character design. People complained about Zendaya joining the cast. And I was one of those people complaining about Zendaya joining the cast. But somehow, all of this is exactly why I think Shrek 5 has the chance to be something really, really special, because for the first time in a long time, DreamWorks knows they can't afford for this to go wrong. I'm Pirate the Landlord, and this is Heart This Movie.
Let's get straight in.
The biggest reason I'm excited about this movie, right, is because the people making Shrek 5 seems to understand something that Hollywood seems to forget sometimes. Nobody asked for a Shrek because we wanted to see another animated movie. People wanted to see Shrek because Shrek was different, right? It's different from all of the other animated movies. This is the type of animated movie that makes fun of other fairy tale movies, right? It's like the scary movie of animated movies, right? It makes fun of Disney. It makes fun of Hollywood. It makes fun of everybody. You know, Shrek is rebellious in that way. You know, Shrek feels like the kid in the class that isn't afraid to say out loud what everybody else is thinking. And that's what made it a phenomenon. That's what made it one of the best animated movies ever. And after watching the early footage and hearing how they're approaching this movie, it feels like DreamWorks remembers that. The jokes are still like hyper sarcastic. The attitude is still there. The world still feels like Shrek's world. It still feels like a Shrek movie and not something like, you know, Hollywood is trying to make as like a cash grab, right? And that matters because nostalgia alone, as I discussed it in my other videos, nostalgia alone does not create a great sequel, and it can't. Understanding why people love the originals is what creates a great sequel, okay? So the backlash was actually a good sign because a lot of people hated this on the first look, right? The internet immediately started talking about the animation style, you know, the redesigned faces and updated look of the characters. Fans' reactions were kind of split between excitement and criticism. But here's the funny part about all of that. The backlash is what actually made me more excited.
Why?
Because people care. Nobody gets angry about something they don't love or care about, right? Nobody spends days debating a teaser for a franchise they forgot even existed. The worst thing a movie could ever be is irrelevant, right? And Shrek is not irrelevant. Shrek is like the opposite of irrelevant. Shrek is anticipated. People are emotionally invested in this. And DreamWorks has had over a year before release to keep polishing things up, to make sure everything is smooth and ready to go. And that tells me that the studio knows that the expectations are high and they are ready to meet those expectations, okay? Now, let me just get this straight out of the way right now. I am not a Zendaya fan, okay? But I'll give this movie a pass.
Because it's Shrek.
I'm gonna be honest, I've never been one of those people who get excited every time Zendaya is announced for something, all right? It's kind of like the opposite for me. Sometimes it feels like Hollywood only knows 10 actors, right? They don't know anyone else who could possibly do this better. I don't know if they have a contract or something that she has to be in everything that's known to man when it comes to like TV shows and movies, but I just feel like it's you know, there's better choices out here for some of these characters. But this is one of the few times where I'm willing to give it a chance. Imagine being Shrek, right? You survive dragons, you survive, you know, fairy tale villains, and now you have to deal with a teenager, and it's like,
good luck.
So I get that aspect of it, you know, but this could be, you know, the most relatable Shrek for a lot of people. This is the part I feel like people aren't talking about enough. The original Shrek was about, you know, accepting yourself, because there was always a deeper meaning to all of the Shrek movies. If you really go back and watch them, they all have it like, yeah, it's funny on the surface and it's wild and it's crazy, but they always had like underlining things, you know, about courage, about accepting who you are, about, you know, feeling like you are enough, you know, not waiting for a savior, you know, that these type of things, these underlining things that help empower you you as a person, right? That's what all of those movies were about. And Shrek 2, like specifically, Shrek 2 was about relationships. Forever After was about appreciating your life, you know, appreciating what you had and not taking it for granted. And Shrek 5 looks like it may be focusing on like family, you know what I mean? And how important family actually is. And honestly, that's the perfect direction because it seemed like all of the other movies were leading to this anyway. So it's not a surprise in any way. Because for the people who watched Shrek in 2001, they're not kids anymore. We're all adults, right? And some of us are parents. Some of us are married. You know, some are trying to figure it out. We're trying to get our lives together, right? Growing up watching Shrek and then seeing Shrek deal with family problems feels like a natural evolution. And I feel like it is. It's not something that they're forcing. So for all you guys who are saying that they're trying to force, you know, teenage drama onto the audience and all.
No.
If you watch any of the other Shrek movies, you knew it was going to lead to this. So this movie has authentic grassroots narrative. There's nothing forced about this storyline. Trust me.
I'm a Shrek fan.
And that brings me to something that, you know, the Shrek franchise has more than any other franchise. They have identity. Immediate identity, right? You recognize Shrek from a screenshot, right? One joke, one line, one accent, one song. That's rare to have in a franchise, but Shrek has that in spades. A lot of franchises, they spend millions trying to create memorable characters. Shrek already has those memorable characters. You got Shrek, you got
Donkey,
you got Fiona,
Puss in Boots,
you got the Gingerbread Man, you got
Pinocchio.
So will Shrek 5 be perfect? Oh, maybe not. I would be satisfied with whatever they're able to do to keep the movie as authentic to the other movies as possible. All of the voice actors are back. The characters are iconic. We already love them. The world is beloved already. And most importantly, Shrek is still different. Shrek is still Shrek, right? A world where every franchise is trying to be the same thing. Shrek is still Shrek. And that's why I heart this movie. I want to thank you guys for watching this all the way through. If you liked the video, please like. If you really like the video, please subscribe. I appreciate all of my subscribers. I have more videos like this on the channel. Please go and check them out. I'm sure you'll love something else that I have there. If you guys feel like you come out of that movie theater and this movie was great, all I need you to do is just come back to the channel and pay your rent.